Hello and welcome to the Myth Refreshed podcast, where I invite you to meet some of the amazing guests that are going to be gracing the stage at the event on March the 18th at the Omnibus Theatre in Clapham. Tickets are available now, so please do get them. The evening will be a mix of different artistic disciplines, a cross of different cultures, where we resurrect the power of myth and reawaken the hero in you. None of this would be possible without the help and support of AB Recording Studios in Tooting. Big up, big up. Do approach them if you have any podcast or video cast needs. And my guest today is the amazing Max Percy.
Hi, hi. I can't wait for you to awaken the hero in me.
Oh, darling, you've awoken it in me already. How about you, sweetheart?
I'm really good today. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so let me give you a quick bio of this amazing theatre artist, director, producer, award-winning theatre maker, I must say. You won the Untapped Award winner 2022 and the Scotsman Fringe First Award winner 2022 as well. Facilitator who fuses dance, theatre, film and research, whose work explores queer and Asian identity whilst experimenting with new forms. An activist who also graduated from the London Russian Ballet School and the East 15 Acting School. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Myth Refresh.
I'm really, really happy to be a part of this. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
Yeah, I grew up in Hong Kong, which I guess cutting to the chase, it's like, I loved growing up there. It was like really safe, but I think it is one of the most let's get to the meat, like most capitalistic places that like I think in the world. And moving here, even it does make London look socialist.
Wow,
I'm not joking. It's really, really and so like I really did come from a world that is almost like an exaggerated version of like what I see around me. And so a lot of my work has to do, like whenever I make work, it is always about, I think, my childhood or like, because those have affected me so well. I mean, it's, yeah. And so, yeah, it's always about Hong Kong, but it works a lot with exaggeration. I work with a lot of, I guess, exaggerating things that I think we take as normal, so that we question should these things be normal? And I think things like Hong Kong being, a colonized region in China and going through a lot at the minute. And my work, I'm looking a lot into the effects of empire and colonialism from Europe wide, and almost my piece, which I think will probably be the next question, is Bakla. It's an interesting way of speaking about colonialism indirectly to the British. And obviously the Spanish mission was very different from the British one in that I feel like very similar in so many ways, but the British one, it justified itself as a civilizing mission. And it still does. It still does a lot of, I mean, and I can speak as a half British person, but, you know, there's this idea that, that the colonies or previous former colonies are some kind of somehow less than or savages or barbarians in the words kind of like back then, but nowadays, I think that still kind of persists in very subtle ways. So
because you mentioned the Spanish, because so you were raised in Hong Kong, but in terms of your heritage,
yes,
what's your mother tongue?
Yeah, well, actually, my mother tongue, and this is a huge part of it, is English. My mum, she never spoke to me in Tagalog, and I guess there was, as somebody who's emigrated, it's like, why would she pass on a language that I guess she herself would see as not useful,
Mm.
or why would it would get in the way of maybe my English? I don't know. I don't know the reasons.
I
But
think lots of Filipino, because you've got Filipino heritage as well, and I think lots of people who have Filipino parents, they find that they were not given, the language,
Yeah.
because my mum was almost kind of embarrassed, like, no, you gotta speak English. We're in England now, and now I just see it as it's always great to learn another language. It gives you so many keys to a culture and to your ancestors.
I know.
But
Yeah, real envy and respect for people that speak multiple languages, I think. But that's why I guess I'm a dancer.
yes.
So it's just
So in terms of
seeking a completely
this
different.
Filipino background, what kind of generational trauma do you want to free yourself from, or do you see yourself bound in?
It's funny. I was making kare kare for the first time.
So can you explain quickly what kare kare is, please?
So it comes from, I think the background of this dish is contested because I think it comes from the traders that came through, or when the Philippines was occupied by the British, from South Asia. They brought, I think, curries, and I think this is a replication of curry or curry.
Oh, I see. Curry.
Exactly,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
But
Okay.
it's got actually no kind of curry powder or spices in it and stuff. But but it is a very, very, I think, old dish. But something that I'm finding really interesting is like language. I was never kind of taught how to make Filipino food. I just eat it. I would just eat it, and I was just like, get out of the kitchen. But what I'm trying to do is find like recipes for dishes that, I mean, throughout history, I guess, has, like with a lot of indigenous knowledge, have just been erased. And it's so difficult to find in the comment section of every Filipino cookbook. It's like, this isn't authentic. This is like a bastardized version of this, and no few dishes are the same. And so it's like the recipes of our culture, we don't have them. It's like, and so food is very important to every culture, but particularly Filipinos, because it's really from the household. There isn't, as we've seen, like a big wave of Filipino restaurants that is like popularized like a lot of other, I guess, South Asian, but other cultures.
It is coming now.
It is. It's been coming for a while.
I know. But we've got the adobo places.
Just come to my house. I'll cook.
Yeah, and I'll cook for you. And there's lots of ubi coming up as well, which is really cool.
Exactly.
So it's cool. But it's also nice that it's coming different.
Yeah, it is.
Used with everything that we are
it
and
is.
more, So
it
it
is.
evolves.
It is. It evolves. And I think that's the amazing thing about the bright side of having a culture that's kind of forgotten, is that we can shape it in however we want today.
Hallelujah. Yeah. And I guess that's what this event is about, kind of. We're quite disconnected from our roots, but it's about reestablishing them and making them really relevant to us now and to future generations. What does it mean to be from the earth, and taking some traditions that we have and fusing them into new myths and new ways of seeing ourselves in the universe. It's really cool.
Definitely.
So how did you get into art? Why are you an artist? Because it's not an easy path. You could have been anything in the world.
Yeah.
Why did art call you?
I think because I was... I mean, in the most basic level, is like it's just how I express myself, and it's how I navigate the world. I don't think I was, like, I think growing up in Hong Kong, like as well, like it's I was never really like allowed to express emotion, and so that's how I express. Like whenever I would do it through like shows or my plays or my art, it was always celebrated, and so that is kind of how I express myself in a way. So yeah, I mean, I love it. I think I'm very kind of like enmeshed with my craft and my practice. It's how I keep fit, it's how I feed myself, it's how I put like a roof over my head. But I love it, honestly. There's nothing else that I would prefer to do.
You've got purpose, darling.
I'm very
That's
lucky.
big. Purpose is really
lucky.
big.
Yeah.
And what resonated for you when you saw the Myth Refreshed open call?
I think it is incredibly like inspiring to see, I think, a night like this where I can find. I think we were talking earlier about finding your tribe and championing artists' stories this evening of people who want to reclaim and rewrite history, because history, is in the hands of the person, of the winner, and exactly, and it's whoever has the eraser in there in history. And I've grown very suspicious of the things that I read, and also the people that have been left behind by history. And I think this is a way of reviving those voices, those stories, those bodies that have been left behind. And there's an incredible artist when I was in Canada. His name is Kent Monkman, and he's Indigenous Canadian, and he creates these fantastic paintings where he reimagines and rewrites I think the colonization of Canada in these just fantastic, really tongue-in-cheek, fun, queer ways. And like, I think, that really resonated with me and the work that I think I want to make. Yeah, definitely.
I think there's something about, even though those voices were not heard, the fact that they come through your artwork kind of helps the wound heal. Because I feel like we've got lots of cultural, societal wounds, and the impact is what we see around us, the chaos. And when you let them breathe and you let those voices come through, you are part of the healing process already, just by showing that they were there, So tell us about the piece that you're going to be presenting for us on March the 18th at the Omnibus Theatre in Clapham.
The piece is called Bakla, and it means, I think it was originally, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's quite derogatory.
Yeah, so I'm like, how come you picked such a trigger-happy word?
I know, because I guess it's not about reclaiming, isn't it? So it means, I think, gay person, but I think in a more literal translation, it would mean like the F word, like slur in English. I don't know, but it's towards queer people. But I think again it's like reclaiming that word and being like, yes, I am Bakla.
Wow, that is so powerful.
Yeah, and also it has a lot to do with, I think, how Catholicism, I think, and the power structures and racial structures that imposed on in the Philippines. It's just super. It's messy. It's all I can say. And this piece kind of just shows up how messy that is. So I use montage in the piece. I think I'm really interested in playing with form, and so it is just like a mosaic of image after image after image. I use mask, circus, monologue, new writing, dance, buto, to kind of just summon the spirits of the past, and it just allow them to be present and to tell their story, I think, in the room. So I hope that says a little bit about it.
I'm so excited. You don't want to tell everything, okay?
I know.
You need to leave some suspense.
Okay.
But the fact that it's coming from that place is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And all part of our healing. Is there anything that you're working on at the moment that you can let us know about, that we can see you in? What projects are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing quite a lot of research at the minute into access. I'm not going to say too much about it, but developing. I'm looking into how technology can be used to make dance more accessible to blind and partially sighted people. I'm working on a commission by London College of Fashion and East London Dance, which thank you so much to those people. And it's going really well. It'll kind of culminate on the 15th. If you're interested in supporting people, artists working with technology, particularly in access, please let me know. Otherwise, just support me in whatever way you can.
We're going to support you. From now on, we're all watching you thrive, and it's going to be amazing to watch you and your new projects and how they all unfold. Thank you so much for coming down, and we look forward to seeing you on March the 18th.
Thanks, Sunshine.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
It's okay. William, is it okay, darling? Yeah. Oh, yay. All right. Okay.
Next person.
Thank you, darling. We didn't do your